going on, sir?
What is up, man?
Going down. That good, huh?
It started already. You can get a block away.
Oh, welcome to another episode of The Commute.
I will be your driver.
And I will be your passenger. Got some stories today. Of course, I forgot my tape. Let's see how they stick.
Damn you, 3M.
Fighting the sticky note of doom. Oh, man, a lot of weird stuff going on today.
Yeah?
A lot of weird stories, anyway.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, thanks for good conversation.
Mm-hmm.
First one, not so weird. I was sitting yesterday on the phone on my ancient landline phone, and yeah, I still got one. So I'm talking to a buddy of mine, and now you know this. I don't know if anyone knows, but Loren Scott, Mick Jagger's girlfriend, is found dead in her apartment.
Right.
And the headline says, Loren Scott, girlfriend of Mick Jagger, found dead, commit suicide.
Mm-hmm.
So I hear the bloop go on my phone, and I look at the phone as it's scrolling. All I see is Mick Jagger found dead, commit suicide. And I'm like, no! His kid, I'm like, dude, I gotta go. You know, as far as musical idols go, he's up there as my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just like, and then I pulled it out, I was like, oh, thank God it was just her.
It's just the girlfriend.
It's just the girl. But it was weird. This girl's like 6 feet tall, right?
Mm-hmm.
They said she hung herself using a scarf from a doorknob. How do you hang yourself from a doorknob? Especially, you know, if you're not a midget. You know, if you're 6 feet tall, how does that?
You laid down?
You lay down really hard?
I don't, well, or you just or just lay there until you pass out. I don't know.
Guess, yeah, kind of like
you're not going so much for the
asphyxiate
neck
yourself
break thing as the
But that's even worse. I mean, why wouldn't you just like drop yourself off a chandelier or something? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe she didn't have anything high enough for her. I don't. Who can say? But I mean, the I guess friends of hers though were saying that, you know, they didn't think she could do it.
Well, I mean, it sounds like foul play to me. If you're hanging yourself from a doorknob,
yeah, it's something.
It just sounds like foul play.
Right.
They said the only bum thing in her life was that, you know, she had this clothing company or fashion company, or whatever, and it was like $5 to $6 million in debt. But when Mick Jagger's your boyfriend, yeah, money's not a problem. You don't kill yourself over money.
And also, when you have a business where, you know, it can go that much into the hole. I mean, generally, people are catching up to you.
Oh yeah.
A lot sooner than that if it's a smaller business, but that sounds big enough where that's probably a relatively frequent occurrence. Mm-hmm. You know.
And a lot of times as businesses they make it back. You know. You're
exactly.
you're in the red, but
it's back and forth. You know.
I don't know. It's just the whole thing sounds weird. So then, you know.
Yeah, it does sound sketchy.
And I'm thinking like, okay, whatever. So Mick Jagger cancels a concert in Australia.
Yeah.
Now that's when I would get mad. If I had tickets to go see the Rolling Stones, probably their last tour.
Yeah.
And this bitch makes you reschedule or even cancel. Who knows if they're going to reschedule? You know, she ruined so many lives.
All those Australian Stone fans.
The hardcore ones. Son of a bitch. But so that was like my freak out of the day. But I'm waiting to see more come out of that because
it sounds like there's something else to it.
It just seems.
What little I saw of it and what little I know of.
Yeah, they're not releasing much yet. They're just talking to people, you know.
Yeah.
But so then I'm reading on Tennessee whiskey. Mm-hmm. Good stuff, right?
I suppose.
As far as whiskey goes,
I mean,
it's not horrible.
It's up there. I mean,
well, there's a law. In order for you to call it Tennessee whiskey, it has to be made fermented at least 51% corn, aged in new oak barrels, charcoal mellowed. You know, they char the inside of the barrel, and stored in Tennessee.
Right.
you can then call it Tennessee barrels. Well, they're going to pass a law pretty soon stating that you can use reused barrels to do it. So all these companies are like freaking out now, like that's just going to water down the industry, and especially like Jack Daniels is the biggest seller of it, and they're saying it's going to just kill the industry, but I don't think so. I mean, if your product's good, what sells it is if it's good.
Yeah, that argument is for people that want those specific areas. Like, I mean, there's cheese makers where Stilton cheese can only come from like a certain place, and
well, you have Scotch whiskey. Can only has to come from Scotland.
Right.
Champagne has to come from a certain area in France. Champagne, right?
Yeah.
Even if it's the same exact recipe, where it comes from. I don't know. It just seems a little snobbish. Like if you really care. I mean, I'll drink any kind of champagne. I don't care where it came from.
I mean, why can't we just use what the English language has taught us, and we have little brackets and quotation marks and stuff. We can just put it in that.
Tennessee whiskey.
That way it's Tennessee flavored, or it's champagne flavored, or made in that style, and everybody can enjoy it.
From
right.
Exactly. Well, because the other companies are trying to corner the market.
Right.
People that make whiskey are saying like, well, that's just your way of not letting me make anything close to it. Like if it's this recipe, only then is it this. But you can make meatloaf 8 different kinds, 8 million kinds of ways. It's still meatloaf. Tequila. Yeah. Exactly. I'm just saying that would be like if Anheuser-Busch said, well, unless you make it like us, you can't call it beer.
Right.
And it just...
Or but I guess they sort of do that with Oktoberfest. It can't be called an Oktoberfest beer unless it's made with the traditional ingredients.
Yeah.
But that's a specific thing for that specific time of year, and it's not limited to a location.
Right.
Right. That's where I think it's pretty lame. I mean, it's people trying to hold on to their industry where it is. I understand that fight, but isn't there a better way to fight that rather than litigating it? I mean, make a better whiskey then.
Right, and that's exactly where I was coming from, is your product is going to sell itself.
Right.
If there's something that tastes better than your Tennessee whiskey, I'm not going to be I'm sorry, I only drink whiskey from Tennessee. I'm going to go with the taste better. And if you feel that threatened by Joe Schmo coming into the industry,
exactly,
your product can't be that good anyway.
Right. If theirs is going to taste as good and they're, distilling it in their basement, then,
right,
where's the margin of error there? It's got to be, you got to step up your game or come up with a different product, innovate. The only thing that can do is help it taste better in the long run.
Yeah.
Overall,
if it is that much better,
get a better
steal
product.
their idea,
right. If they're vacuum sealing it, and go ahead, whatever you want.
I don't know.
If they're vacuum sealing it, then you've got to do the same thing. You got to keep up those appearances or whatever. They do the same thing with wine or any of those things. Is if it's the same grape and it's a similar process, then it's that grape from that area, or it's that style from this area. That way I can pick. Yeah, I like the Tennessee one better. I'm gonna go back there. No. I like the Atlanta, Georgia one better. I'll go with that one. I can't see keeping people out of the industry. To me, that doesn't make any sense.
Right, and if I want to call mine, what people start doing then, the way around it is, okay, you have your Tennessee whiskey. I'm going to call my whiskey. The brand is going to be called Tennessee whiskey. It's just whiskey, but the brand is Tennessee whiskey.
Right.
And, there's so many ways around it. Just stop crybabying about it.
Yeah, and who's to say, too? I mean, if somebody does come up with a better recipe or something of that style whiskey, then who's to say you're not going to want to buy them out?
Yeah.
To expand
exactly.
your
if you're one
business.
of the biggest places like Jack Daniels,
you
certainly can afford it.
Right. You're going to hire that guy that innovated that.
Yeah.
He's not going to sell it that long on his own because he came up with this cool process. You're going to want to incorporate. And
And I would sell if me and you came up with a better whiskey.
Right.
And a couple months from now, they're like, hey, we're going to give you so many million for your factory or whatever, your recipe.
Yeah, come work with us for a few months, show us your technique and everything.
Done deal. You got it, Jack.
Sure, that's great. And keep doing it on the side, it's...
Yeah, try. Then it only allows me to try to. Now I have money. I can try to come up with something even better, or different. Maybe I want to move on. Maybe I don't want to deal with liquor anymore. Yeah. And maybe I want to come up with a better.
It's just shooting yourself. They started that out somewhere along the line. They started out in that business, and give somebody else a chance. I'm a big fan of that. Like just giving everybody else equal footing. Why? I don't like litigating people out of a market. I don't like putting these stupid red tape barriers in the way for no reason. I mean, I guess the fight is over calling it that, but honestly, we'll patent the style then. It is a style. It's not what it is.
Made in Tennessee whiskey style.
Right.
Or
made in
Canada.
Yeah. Made in Ontario in Tennessee style.
Yeah. Done. But it's people complaining to complain. It's free press for them. You know what I mean? Like, it gets your name out there.
Yeah, I guess, but still,
there's no such thing as bad press.
Doesn't make me feel good about them.
About humanity. Yeah, like, you know what? Now I might not get that brand. Next time I want whiskey,
I'm going to buy store brand generic cheddar cheese instead of your Wisconsin cheddar cheese.
Take that.
Yeah. You won't be getting my taste dollars. Yeah.
Bunch of babies.
Yeah, and the tiers only go so far from like a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
Yeah, right. So. Exactly. Oh, I feel so bad for you. Someone's trying to make a living.
Oh no.
You got enough money to make the world go round.
Yeah, my tear ducts are dry for them. Nothing left.
So I was looking on Facebook. They have they're coming up with, it wasn't on Facebook, but they have this program they're working on called Deep Face. And what it is, it says as long as if you have one picture on Facebook, if anybody else posts a picture of you on Facebook, it can automatically tag you based on your facial recognition. It says it is 97.25% accurate. Of all the people in the world, chances are it's going to know who you are. Like it's that detailed that they can do it.
So is this supposed to avert attention of Facebook being run by the CIA? Or?
Yeah, I think it only helps. This is the stuff you watch The Following. Looking for the criminals, and they
we're definitely not run by the CIA at all. No. Except for this facial recognition software.
It blows out anything in the world. It's currently a project at MIT that they came up with. Mm-hmm. And whereas it's not in Facebook now, Zuckerberg says, oh, it will be. And then you have all the privacy advocates going crazy, like, maybe I don't want to be tagged in a photo, or...
Well, then you can untag yourself, but that the only thing that's going to do is help all these people that are concerned over, pictures being, like, we were talking about that woman the other day who had the nudie pictures of the kid's mom or whatever, and that it would recognize those pictures.
And it would automatically tag her, and all of her friends would get a request, hey, your friend so-and-so.
Including her. I mean, she
would have known already, right? She could have taken them off.
So maybe the second tier of that is it recognizes you, it tags you, but that picture can't be posted unless you give permission.
Yeah, why not?
That solves a lot of problems.
Advanced notification, from everybody else.
This is going up on this page,
But I also feel in today's world that anytime you stand in front of a camera, just assume it's going to be on the internet or everywhere, or it's not going to be kept in someone's scrapbook and never seen again until they decide to bring it out. Anything you step into a still image camera, a video camera, you walk into a store and they have surveillance cameras, just assume it's out there. You are giving your permission by leaving your house.
Yeah, I mean,
You know?
I don't know. I saw Enemy of the State. I know how it is.
But I don't know. It just seems like you can't do anything these days. You know, just point to the last two stories without somebody crying about something. It's just.
Well, I don't know. My excuse for it is people are bored. They're looking for some kind of thing, some kind of battle to win, some kind of uphill struggle that's more of a downhill slope.
Is it to make themselves feel better? Is it?
It's just something to do, man. People have nothing to do.
I can't fathom having nothing to do. You know, like it blows my mind. Like to me, it's them wanting to feel above everybody. You know, I conquered, I complained and got my way.
There's got to be a psychological element to it. It's got to give you some kind of endorphin rush for a certain brain set to belittle somebody or be better than somebody else or put somebody down or shame somebody. That's
just somebody to me that is dull anyway and has no interest. I mean, okay, you have your life, you have your job, you have chores you got to take care of, you have stuff you got to eat, you got to cook. At the end of the day, it doesn't leave much time for anything else.
Right.
So your free time, pretty much, if you're saying I have nothing to do, is I have no form of entertainment.
Yeah.
There's entertainment out the ass.
Right.
These days, I mean.
But that is their entertainment. That's what makes them feel good. That's what they like.
Good. Right. They feel they get that endorphin rush.
It doesn't cost me any money to, make 100 time posters, and it's for that's up and down any struggle, really. I mean, people pick up any kind of little thing now. It's not nearly what it was. Nobody's fighting for any cause anymore. I mean, you might have 2 or 3 major causes in the world where people are actually direly affected by them through like hunger or sick, illness or whatever else. But all these in-between things where there's people make up 2 sides to a story that isn't there.
And then, you never get the truth out of it.
In case there's so many filters by the time we see it.
People will say anything to get their way.
Sure, or get their 15 minutes of fame.
That's why I don't vote. I mean, to me, there's some lie in everybody's journey, what they want to accomplish.
Yeah, there's that public facade that you got to put on to go into politics, and there's that old adage that, the people that most deserve power don't seek it, so... Right. I don't know. I mean, I vote, but I always vote for like third-party candidates. And
I try to go that way because
I mean, I'm not fooling myself. Like, I'm not deluded into the fact that I think they're going to win ever. But I appreciate the fact that they're trying. The fact that
let them know they have some kind of support.
Right. I mean, keep it up. Like, that's a struggle that's worth it. That's to see something that's not two-sided.
Just I got beat down by that. I tried to vote for governor, and I went third party, and the guy got 2,000 total votes. And it was like,
and that's what it is. I mean,
I wasted my time. I could have been crying about something.
Right. I could have been fighting the struggle on the internet.
I could have been blogging about that. Did you find anything good today? Anything newsworthy?
Newsworthy? I don't know about newsworthy. I got all kinds of weird stuff though. Let's see. Stuff that happened today in the past. March 18th.
Oh, yes.
1944 was the last time that Mount Vesuvius in Italy erupted.
Really?
Yeah. And the big one that's the same volcano that covered Pompeii, that movie that's out in the theater right now, but that erupted in, 79 BC. And that was the one that covered Pompeii and Herculaneum and
it was,
everything else. But the last time it erupted was March 18th, 1944.
Check that out.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I thought that
I always like that, this day in history.
That was cool.
Is that the only thing that happened today?
Well, that was the only one that pulled out. I saw right away. It was on the front page of. There's this show that's on the BBC, QI, quite interesting, and they go through. It's kind of set up like a panel, like game show sort of thing, where they bring on celebrities and they just answer all these questions that either there's no way you would ever get, but it's like to get the fact out there and just to get people talking. But it was on the front page of their website. That today's date thing.
We should try to do that every day.
Find a today's date.
Yeah, today's date. Today in history.
Well, I'll look at that. I'll look at I'll pull down off their site every day, whatever they got on the front thing.
Something to bring up. Wesley Warren Jr. You know who that is?
No.
He just died. He was 49 years old. He had a 132-pound scrotum. Thing was huge.
That sounds uncomfortable.
Gigantic. It was growing about 3 pounds a month. And he was afraid that he would die in surgery. So that's why he never, got it taken care of. And it got so big, he wore hooded sweatshirts as pants. So like he would put his legs through the armholes, and the hood would hold his junk, and he would make like a makeshift zipper, to like cover everything up. But it just seemed horrible. But he did get it operated on last year. He was 552 pounds when he went to surgery, and he was only about 330 when he got out of surgery. Between the weight of the scrotum and fluids, it took like 200 pounds off of him.
Jeez.
But he was they said he couldn't have a life. He said he couldn't fly because he couldn't fit in the restroom because his scrotum was so big. But he went on Howard Stern's show. He likes to have like Freaks of Nature on or whatever.
Sure.
And he hooked him up with like this really good doctor that could do it, and he was fine. But then diabetes got the best of him.
I'm surprised he survived the surgery. Really, I mean.
Yeah. Well, I guess
like huge.
A lot of bleeding.
Yeah.
A lot of bleeding. It was kind of a sad story because he said he just like. He could never have a love life. He could never have a girlfriend or anything. It's just, but so his goal was after the surgery that's what he wanted to do, was to have a life and have a family, and now he's dead. Never got to do it.
Man.
It was just amazing. Like, I think if it got up to 5 pounds, I'm getting it operated on,
Yeah, I'm in there right away.
I'm not letting it get 132 pounds.
No.
Jesus, I mean, 3 pounds a month into that, it's like almost 4 years, of living like that. Jeez.
That's horrible.
Not my way to go.
11 people were arrested in a hotel in Anambra, Nigeria. And they were arrested because they were serving human on the menu.
Oh no!
Yes.
Like
there were roasted human heads on the menu. And
where was this at?
It was in Nigeria. It was a hotel in Nigeria.
So it wasn't like people were sneaking humans into the food. That was on the menu.
It was on the menu.
Oh, wow.
When they went in, they found all kinds of like crazy like amounts of like cell phones and AK-47s and all kinds of shady stuff. But they also found 2 human heads in cellophane wrap, all ready to go.
How do they think they'll get away with that? Like, were they like? I can only imagine they were killing people like for some other shady thing, and that was their way of,
I guess,
disposing of
repurposing the body.
Wow.
But it wasn't like a hidden thing. They were just.
And people would buy it.
Yeah. It was like, it was like for the plate of like that had like human flesh. It was 700 Nigerian dollars for that. That's some huge amount.
Wow. Yeah, not my thing.
No. I mean, and this isn't genetically modified. This is
human. Yeah, this isn't
fresh off the bone.
Diddy meat or anything. It's Oh man, that's horrible. And just to find the heads. What are they gonna make, like soup? You know, put the heads in the soup.
No, it was roasted human head is what they had on the.
Oh, it was roasted.
Roasted human head was on the menu.
Oh.
But they hadn't roasted them yet.
That's the other thing. If I am going to eat any part of a human, I don't want them looking at me while I'm doing it. You know, like I might have to take a little cheek meat off you here.
Right.
Oh.
Yep.
Wow. Should have been arresting people that were ordering it.
Yeah, I mean, that was...
I mean, you're just helping them.
You're helping the cause.
Yeah.
So that was pretty horrific.
Wow. In India, there's this clothing company, and they try to make their ads and billboards of, like, famous people, and they'll put a quote, you know, that they had next to it. Like, that's their ad. They've used Gandhi. They've used Martin Luther King. Well, a new one, and they wanted to go for, you know, their biggest ad yet. So they get this huge billboard, and it's Mandela, and it's got, you know, one of his speeches or whatever, you know, next to it. Except they made a mistake. Instead of Mandela, they had a picture of Morgan Freeman.
Didn't he play Mandela in like a movie or something?
I'm sure he did. But like they honestly thought that it wasn't someone like pulling a prank on them. It was the person who was supposed to get the picture and put it up there, and no one caught it until, you know, it was on the streets.
Out. Yeah.
And I guess people said, wait a minute. So, you know, they had to come out and do this big apology, and, you know, supposedly they're a pretty decent brand, you know, out there, whoever they are. I mean, no one I ever heard of.
Yeah.
But,
that's ridiculous.
Yeah. And he seems to have a decent sense of humor. I'm kind of excited to see
what his reaction
he's going to say about it.
Yeah, somebody should bring that up on a talk show or something to him. It just reminds me of that Samuel L. Jackson
I was just going to
thing.
say, they better not tell Samuel L. about it. He's going to go nuts.
I'm the what's in your wallet guy. I'm not the...
who was it they thought he was? The guy from The Matrix, right?
Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne. Because he was like, I saw your ad during the Super Bowl. And he's like, what are you... During the Super Bowl? What are you talking about?
And the guy tries to change the subject real fast. He's like, oh, no. We're talking about this. Oh, man.
That was amazing.
What other kind of good weird Asian stuff? Oh, in Thailand, there's a, if you're a woman and you're walking the streets, pretty dangerous for you, especially at nighttime. A lot of rape goes on. So he came out with these anti-rape panties. And what it is, they're panties that the girls wear, and they're supposed to wear, you know, jeans or tight pants, whatever, with them. Because on the front of the panties is a dildo. So it looks like, you know, that there's like chicks with dicks, you know, and they got this thing going on. So when you go up to, you know, approach them and you see that, you go, oh, hey, well, and I'll just move along.
Whoa.
Move along. We're not raping you tonight, sir. You know? But they sell them, and that's the thing, and they're doing pretty good. You know, I mean, it's only a matter of time before they catch on to that and go, okay, well,
we gotta check.
We're just gonna check. If you got the real thing, we'll let you go.
Jeez. That's a good deterrent, though. I mean, I was thinking kind of weird alarm system or something, but, you know, back to basics.
Back before technology, you know, women were probably stuffing socks down there.
Unless that hurts their business, I don't. Maybe it doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What was the other thing? Oh, Hong Kong. There's this tycoon, right? And his daughter's a lesbian. And he does not want his daughter to be a lesbian. You know, he's saddened by it, angered by it, and insisting that she marries a man. She's like, no, you know, it's not who I am. I'm into women. You know, sorry. So this guy offers, now this is in U.S. dollars, $64 million to any man that can marry his daughter. Like, he wants her to marry a man that bad. He will pay $64 million. It was like $64.5 million. So he puts that out there, and right away, this girl's Facebook page gets hit with all these, friend requests, and she's getting all these, messages by men, and she took it lightly. She said, she said a lot of the guys were funny, she thought it was, but it's not her thing. She wasn't mad at her dad. She said that's just her dad saying, I love you so much, you deserve more.
Sure.
But the dad even said, he's like, I don't care if you're broke as a joke. He's like, you got to treat her nice. He's not like just any jerk.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to have to like you. You're going to have to treat her good. But she has plans to go overseas and marry a woman. She's got a girlfriend or a fiance. And this guy's $64 million. Like, that's someone who, like, I mean, I know it happens to parents. They get pissed off if their kids come out. But to pay $64 million to really not even fix the problem, to hide the problem.
Right, just to match. Well, I wasn't, but in China, wasn't there was a thing where you can marry ancestors or dead people or
Dead
whatever.
people. You can marry dead people for money.
So why doesn't he just set that up and then set his mind at ease?
Yeah, really. Here. This dead guy's going to marry my daughter. She's married. And let her go off and she can do her own thing.
He's all set.
And the family would get the money.
Yeah.
Helping out a family who's grieving.
Right. It's win-win.
And in Florida news, there's this small town, Hampton, Florida. Population 477. They own a stretch of 420 yards on Route 301. And from 2011 to 2012, they gave out 12,698 speeding tickets. Right? They're just like insane with their tickets. The speed limit went from 65 to 55 recently, and they're hitting people with that on their little stretch of highway. So people are getting like pissed off, like, come on. To the point where they're investigating it. So they start investigating, what's going on here. And the town usually is in the negative. They usually don't make money even with that. They currently don't have a mayor because the last mayor they had is in jail for selling oxycodone. I guess when you have your pick of 477 people,
right?
Some of the police force was volunteer police work. In the recent years, 3 of their city commissioners have not received a water bill for a year and a half. One of their nursing homes, or I guess the nursing home, I don't know, hasn't received a water bill in 7 years. And no one's complaining. Everyone just, you think like you call up, hey, I haven't got my bill, what's going on? No. Everyone's in cahoots there. The police chief runs his own church in City Hall. Like, it's just like the whole town is corrupt.
Man.
So the state attorney's office comes in and says, all right, look, we found all this stuff. You now have 30 days to fix everything. Like, everything's got to be running up and up. In 30 days, you got to stop pulling every car over that comes through. Or we're just going to dissolve the city.
Yeah.
They said just like they're going to dissolve it. The city will be no more. It'll become part of, some other city.
Then you don't have to worry about it.
And then you're done. Yeah. But like, I mean, that's like something out of a movie or a TV. Like, this is a town you don't want to go to. Like, if you're an outsider in Hampton, Florida.
That's the one.
Oh, hell no. So if you're in Florida on Route 301, put Hampton on your GPS so you do the speed limit.
Have that heads-up display.
I definitely don't think you want to end up in the jail either. You're gonna be like a Mexican prison.
Well, I think in Florida too, they've got a thing where they can seize your vehicle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like if you if it's like a felony offense or something for whatever you did, like if you're trafficking something or it they can actually seize your possessions and everything, whatever's in that vehicle. Because they were having problems on 95 or something where it was a different kind of corruption. It was like they were pulling people over and they were taking money and anything they could find like in the car because they seized it as potential drug assets. Like they just labeled it as that. And if it goes unclaimed, like it just gets turned over to like the town or the police department or whatever it was. So like they take those vehicles, impound them, and if it's not resolved, then they can sell the vehicles for a profit.
Oh, Jesus.
Or to themselves for like $1.
Wow.
Yeah, there was a whole big sting on it. Like the FBI had to go in and
Wow.
did this whole, I'm pretty sure it was in Florida. It was somewhere along that 95 corridor.
It's just crooked. Like, they're the people you're supposed to trust.
Yeah, well, and in a society where supposedly, corruption is cornered or, is kept track of because of the way that it's structured, but it's just not. I mean,
it's insane. It's just greed and power. A combination of the two is just. But it's usually going to end up in disaster.
Yeah.
You're going to get caught. Anymore. I wouldn't try to do anything shady anymore, man.
No, it's
you can't get away with nothing.
Yeah, there's cameras everywhere.
Facebook is going to find you.
Yeah, Facebook will match you up, set you on your way.
It's going to be like in what's the Tom Cruise movie?
Oh,
it's the eye implants.
Oh yeah, what was that?
Great movie too. But anyway, you walk by like a billboard and it recognizes you,
and it gives you the ad.
It gives you whatever ad. Yeah, that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's just helping that. And if Facebook can recognize you like that, put that technology in a billboard, you're done.
Yeah,
you got it.
You've done it.
As long as you are tagged in one picture in the world.
Tailored for you and hooked up to your Facebook account.
It could be embarrassing too, like people would really know you.
Yeah.
It's going to go off purchases that you've made. So like we could be hanging out with a bunch of people and walk by and it's going to be like, hey, we have a bunch of midget porn you'd be interested in. Well, huh?
Would you like to know more?
Me? You guys? Is it you?
Start running. Just try to get past the ads.
It's just all the billboards you run by turn into midget porn.
Hey.
Just buy it and we'll go away. All right, here. Scan my card.
Just stop. There's a 600-year-old manuscript up in Yale University has it in their archives. It's called the Voynich manuscripts, and it's supposedly the oldest cipher in the world. Like it's not written in a language that anybody speaks or knows, and it's over 600 years old. Well, this guy, professor at university, he's named Stephen Bax, and he's apparently deciphered 10 of the words in this hundreds and hundreds of page manuscript, and supposedly that proves like there's a theory that it's just written in gobbledygook, like it's not a real language at all. But the fact that he deciphered 10 of the words in it means that it is an actual a real language. So it was kind of cool, like him talking about the process, and he's got this whole YouTube video about him talking about the Voynich manuscript.
So that's all they can decipher from it then?
Yeah, just he's come the furthest in all this time. But there's.
How do you know if you're right?
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess it compares up to cross-compare itself. Like, I guess that's how a cipher would work if you've got something to decode it to.
Yeah, that's true.
It references itself. But yeah, if you go to his website, stephenbax.net, he apparently has that up there, and he's got links to these other sites where it shows the whole manuscript like online. You can flip through like the pages of it and stuff. I thought that was pretty cool. Voynich manuscript.
Voynich.
Yep.
Even that sounds like a fake word.
Yeah. It was kind of like some of the stuff he was talking about. Like there were like depictions of like sunflowers and things in it. He said that's the thing, at the time when it was discovered in Italy, and 150 or so years after it was written. But at that time, sunflowers didn't exist in Europe, so they know that it's not a depiction of sunflowers, it's something else. So piecing those clues together is how they.
That'd be a fun job. Yeah. That was your job.
You're a cipher, and it's a great name for a job too.
Yeah.
A cipher.
A cipher. People be like, what's that? If you don't know, just don't worry about it.
Yep, you're not in the end.
You don't need to know. Yeah, I mean, you would be doing puzzles all day.
Yeah,
you know?
that's it.
That's what you would have going on.
Mm-hmm.
So the other day we made that phone call to the phone booth.
Oh yeah, that's right.
In the desert.
At the end of the world.
So we're going to keep trying. We'll try every day.
Yeah, you got it.
Until
Let it go.
Until we can actually get somebody on here. See if they want to talk about a story.
The number you have dialed has been changed to a conference. You are the only party in this conference.
Ah.
Only party again. Come on, people. No, we need people to
Start
call
calling
in. That's what I'll do. I'll give out the number every day, too.
Yeah, do that.
People can call in. The number is 760-733-9969. Call it generally between 4 and 5 o'clock Eastern time, and we can talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be our conference line.
Be on the show.
And if you're not familiar with the story, go back to a couple episodes ago. It's in the header or in the subject line about making a phone call to the desert, or however we commented on it. But check out the story. It's pretty cool. Talk live on the podcast.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome.
A couple of big events in video game world today.
Oh, yeah.
March 18th. Two things were supposed to happen today. The kind of touched on it before, but Diablo 3. They're shutting down their online auction house today.
Right.
So
this is D-Day for them.
yeah, no more trading items for cash or vice versa. It's all shut down today. And the other thing is SimCity, the newest SimCity game that just came out. It might have been last year. And the big deal with that was it was all online. Like you had to have an online connection, and it hooked up.
Unless you were online.
You couldn't play it unless it was online, and there was like a friends thing it attached to and everything. But that goes away today. They're unlocking it so you can play single player on your machine at home. You don't need an internet connection.
Oh.
You can just download whatever patches there are and play it on your machine, and that's it.
And why are they doing that?
There was such a huge community uproar of people wanting that, and developers of the game came out, guys that moved on after the fact. They came out after, later on. They said it was a simple thing. We had it at one point in time as a feature in the game. They wanted it this way, so that's the way we did it. So they made it seem like it was no big thing for them to switch it back to, something you could play without an internet connection. So that's what they're doing. They cave to popular opinion, which is kind of unprecedented for Electronic Arts. I mean, they're not big on doing that.
And then there's people that just want to play the game and not be bothered with other people.
Right, or people that want to play the game and just either have a crap internet connection, or
right. Yeah,
don't
not everyone has a great internet connection, or the internet.
Right, at all. You just want to play some SimCity. Just want to build some buildings and throw some tornadoes into it and be done. And now you can.
And it might be like my kid likes playing Sims, but I'm not going to let her online.
Right.
To interact with people, so you want to play it. Well,
mainly what it did was you could download buildings and stuff that other people would put on the thing, so it was just connected, but it wasn't like a direct connection thing. I mean, you could add people to a friends list that if they were online,
so it wasn't like this big open world where you can just talk to anybody.
No, it wasn't like that at all.
Because PlayStation tried that before.
Yeah.
They had this, I don't know if it was called Home, or I think it was something like that, or My Home. And it was just this open world. And it was a thing where you can build your house, you can buy things. My wife was big into that, buying shirts for her character.
Thing,
But it was just everyone who was on there was on there.
Oh, okay.
Anyone can walk up to you. There was I think your house, people can come in your house. So that was kind of your own private time.
Right.
But if you were out in the open, in the mall, just anyone could. It was just It was just horrible, man. It was,
Just
because her character was a girl.
Yeah.
On top of it, you just have every hornball in the world coming up to her like, "Hey, baby."
Yep.
Like, really?
Just the bottom barrel of humanity.
Turn your mic on, baby. What is he getting, like, free phone sex? Or, you know, what do you think we're going to do? So I get on the mic. Hey, how you doing?
Hey,
you know, hey, buddy.
What's going on, sir?
You are sexy. Character runs away.
Oh, God.
Telling all the other characters. There's a Tennessee woman. Now, she was not drinking the Tennessee whiskey.
Yeah.
23 years old. She crashed her car into a church and stabbed her husband in the chest. Now, she claims that the devil was inside of her.
That's her defense.
So, that's her defense. She said her husband... It all started... She says she smokes a lot of pot.
Okay.
Tennessee pot. And she says she smokes in the day and at night. And God told her that you don't need to smoke pot in the day to get through your day. Just smoke it at night. Take it easy, go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And she said when she does smoke pot, she can see things that other people don't. Which is generally how drugs work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the way it is.
Brain chemistry in some way, yeah.
And so her husband's watching NASCAR, and she said he was watching the Bristol race, and he's going on and on about NASCAR, and she was so fed up with him and his NASCAR obsession, she wants to do evil things. So the devil tells her, get a knife and stab him in the heart. So she picks up a kitchen knife, and she doesn't want to stab him in the heart, but the devil's like, it's going to shut him up, you know, do it. So she gets in her car and drives away. She just wants to get away from her husband because she really feels she's going to stab this guy in the heart. So she takes off in her car, and I guess she really had to, I don't know, she didn't say if she was trying to get to church, to get the devil out of her, or whatever, because she does talk to God as well. She's got to land
one or the other. Right.
And so she crashes her car into the church. Cops call her husband and say, you know, or no, she calls the husband and says, look, you know, this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, I'm on my way, you know, don't worry. Well, the cops are called too. Well, he gets there before the cops do, go figure. And he comes up to, like, make sure she's okay, and she just jabs a knife into his chest. Like, just, like, God damn you in NASCAR.
Oh.
So he's able to he pulls the knife out of his chest. You know, she was going for the heart, she said. And they take her off in the hospital because she was hurt from the crash. They take the husband. The husband's in fine condition, they said.
Yeah, I mean, depending on where you stab, the movies make it out to be some big thing. I guess unless it's that following show, because you can be stabbed 1,000,000 times and you're fine. That's okay.
Shot.
Forks, knives, whatever. We didn't get into that, but I'm done with that show now.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. After the latest episode, I'm done.
Oh, I got to catch up.
No, go ahead and catch up, because, you know, that's the last I'll be seeing of it, so you'll see where my viewing ends.
Oh, no.
But, yeah, I mean, you got ribs and everything else right there.
So much protecting. You have muscle, and you got a lot of muscle there.
For, you know?
And that's why your heart is also a little more centered. You get
the breastplate and everything else, yeah.
So they arrested her when they found her in the hospital. And when they were taking her away, she said, by the way, is my husband dead or alive? And they were like, oh, well, he's alive. And she says, well, I kind of figured as much because God told me how all this was going to play out, even if I went through with it. Isn't God good? Isn't God good? He pulled us through this.
Oh.
So, real nut job. I mean, pot is the least of her problems.
Yeah. That was keeping her stable.
NASCAR, yeah, it was calming her down, you would think. Unless she was smoking more than pot.
Yeah,
who knows, but...
Some kind of laced pot or something, I don't know.
Some angel dust.
Yeah, man.
But, yeah, it's just all kinds of crazy people running around the news today.
That's insanity.
I can't imagine. So I'm guessing her next boyfriend isn't going to be a NASCAR fan. You know, and if he is...
And I mean, I can relate to that. You know, I'm not a big fan of NASCAR.
I'm gonna stab somebody. I mean, my wife likes a lot of stuff that I don't like, but
I mean,
I'm gonna stab her in the heart for it.
Yeah, I understand that, you know, emotion, but
she went through with it.
Man.
And that's the thing. You see it as emotion, not the devil.
Right.
Told you to do it.
You know, not your insides talking to you. It's an outside voice. It's an outside actor. Yeah, that's
not good.
And that's the big problem with any kind of religious experience. There's too much stuff like in between the filters, you know. It's how do you know when the brain is telling, you know, and it's not an experience.
And a lot of people will also use it as it's such an easy thing to put blame on. You know, they use that as, who knows, maybe she just wanted to slap the shit out of him and said, hey, when I do it, I'll say it was the devil talking to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll go to the nut house instead of prison. Mm-hmm. And once I become better, I'll be a free woman again.
No, I don't know. The one good thing is that, you know, psychologists now are not the simpletons that they used to be, and you're not.
It's very hard to get an insanity plea.
You're not going to fool them with that. Nobody's going to sign off on that, you know, unless you truly are.
Well, that'll pretty much do it for today. As long as my wife doesn't stab me for my love of hockey.
Yeah.
We'll see.
You could get a kitchen knife in the chest.
Well, make sure you check out the website, tocommute.com. That's TWO, commute.com. Follow us on Twitter, @DriverPassenger. Check us out on Facebook, at The Commute. Or you can email us at thecommutepodcast@comcast.net. Take care.
We'll see you.